everyone. This is Steve Rozenberg with Mynd Property Management, and today I'm joined with Trevor Steadman, who is the portfolio manager for us at Mynd in Reno. Trevor, thanks for joining me today. Appreciate it.
Awesome. Thanks for inviting me on here.
All right, Trevor. So I own a rental property. I'm in Reno. What is going to break, or what should I expect to break in my rental property in the Reno market, would you say?
Maybe the question should be, what do you not expect to break, and what can you prepare for?
Good point. Yeah, good point.
You know,
Well, if you were to say what has the better odds or chances of breaking, maybe we start with that, huh?
There you go. We're unique Reno weather. We're 110 triple digits in the summer, and we're negative below zero in the winter sometimes, depending on what kind of cool kick we get. The biggest problem that we see in the fall and the spring is irrigation boxes. They are so particular. In Nevada, and this is, I think, pretty common for at least our northern Nevada market, all of our irrigation boxes are buried in the ground because obviously it's warmer underground versus something coming out of the ground and having a water shut-on or water shut-off valve. But these irrigation boxes, it's just PVC pipe. Even if you have a little bit of remnants of water in it, or if you had maybe a leak that you didn't know about, by the time we hit January and it's -3 outside or even 15 degrees outside, it only takes a little bit of that water to freeze and you're out $1,000 to put a new irrigation box in. I always tell owners, I said, look, spend the extra money on getting it winterized by a professional. You don't have to do it yourself. Save you the headache when you get in the spring and nothing turns on.
Cheaper's not cheaper. I've learned that lesson personally, not only in my rental properties, but in my personal life, that you're never saving money when you think you're cutting corners. So yeah, that's some major extremes. And I mean, people don't really think about Reno. I mean, they know the snow and they know the summer. They probably don't put the two together. And when you have a rental property, you really have to put that together and really think about the long-term effect for 10, 20, 30 years of wear and tear. And I can definitely see that. I never really thought about it like that, though.
Yeah, definitely. And fortunately for us, or unfortunately, builders throughout the years have come up with a whole bunch of ways to bury these irrigation boxes. Sometimes you can't find them. Sometimes they're ones that detach that you have to pull off every year, put in the garage. You just got to know what you're working with and kind of figure out who can protect it the best.
Right, right. Okay. Well, what's another thing to break?
Just like we have irrigation boxes that are susceptible to weather, same thing with HVAC systems. I tell all of my owners, I said, look, these HVAC systems are probably put to the test more so than any other market. We got heaters heating homes, throughout the entire winter. And then we got air conditioning units that get, pretty much run through the ringer the entire summer. Service your HVAC, catch it before it breaks. There's nothing worse than it being 115 degrees outside and you get that phone call. My AC isn't working. It's a Friday and it's 4:30 because that's only when those calls come in.
4th of July weekend. It's normally on a holiday weekend too, right?
Always. So there are a lot of programs out there with the local vendors where you can set up an annual inspection, pay them a couple $100 a year. They go through and do a duct cleaning. They make sure that your filters are being changed regularly. They clean out your burners. They make sure that everything's running properly. It's good peace of mind to know that when a $5,000 heater unit goes out, that you've done everything you can to protect it and extend the life of that unit before you actually have to replace it. Very important.
Yeah, I can definitely see HVAC being something that's probably, I would have to guess that would be the highest useful appliance used in a property in Reno. I would have to agree with you on that. Give me a final one that probably happens a lot up there.
Yeah, definitely. Last one is going to be fences. A lot of developments out here all have just timber wood post fences. The builders were not great putting them together, but hey, they're standing, right? But then we get the Sierra Nevada winds that just blow through. I mean, not even 3-4 weeks ago, we had 200-mile-an-hour gusts at the summit when we had these crazy winds come through the valley. I mean, we'll have 70-mile-an-hour sustained gusts here, depending on what part of Reno you're in. I mean, that versus a fence, who's going to go? I mean, at the end of the day, check your posts, make sure that your fences are done. If you can rebuild it, replace it, do it. Aesthetically, it'll look better for the property, and financially, you won't have a tenant saying their dog's out because your fence blew down.
Well, and I guess, again, just going back to the inclement weather, when you have the super high temperatures and then the super zero temperatures, that wood is going to weather and crack. And next thing you know, you put a serious force amount of wind on that. I could see it's probably not going to land or sustain very long. So that's definitely, I could see. I didn't realize the winds got that bad up there. That is pretty intense.
Yeah, it's definitely not all the time, but when she wants to, she definitely goes all out.
Yeah.
And then ask any contractor that tries to dig a fence post in the middle of January when it's 10 degrees outside. They're not going to be happy with you. So do your fence repairs in the summer when everything's thawed.
Well, and that's a good point. I think it goes to show that when you own a rental property and you are up there, whether if you're doing it by yourself or if you're using mine, it all goes back to the contractors and vendors and the relationships and making sure that you're being preventive and proactive as opposed to reactive, and you're doing the Friday night, yellow page, probably not yellow page anymore, Google search of trying to find that contractor Friday night, as opposed to being proactive and doing it, ahead of time and working these things through. So, and that to me is the key of having leverage, of using a management company, or just, knowing who your contractors and vendors are so that you have that preset relationship. And again, it's like having a car with your tires or changing your oil. These are things that are going to have to happen. As Trevor said, these are going to break. So why not be proactive and get ahead of the curve so that you're not scrambling? Because it's not if, it's when. And when it does, it's normally not the most opportune time that you want to be doing last minute, because that's normally when you pay, right? When you're not predicting it and you're not prepared, that's kind of sometimes when it costs the most. So I think that's great information, Trevor. If somebody wants to know a little bit more and talk to you directly about, things to fix, or maybe some good contractors you have, or having Mynd manage their property for them, how would they get a hold of you?
Yeah, definitely. We have an office right here on 1575 DeLucci Lane, right on the backside of the Meadowwood Mall here in Reno. And my office line here, 775-335-0124. I answer questions just like this for investors every day.
That's great. And for those of you that would like to learn a little bit more on a local level, as well as a larger scale national level, I would encourage you to join our Facebook group. It is the Mastermind, MYND, Mastermind Real Estate Investment Club. And there you'll be able to engage with people like myself, Trevor, other investors, whether they're brand new or very experienced, and we can discuss conversations and things just like we talked about today in our Facebook group. So make sure you join that. Also, every week we have a brand new podcast show that comes out. It's called The Mindful Investor, and that comes out every week on iTunes, Spotify, and other channels. And it's a great way to learn how both novice investors as well as very, very experienced not only are successful, but also have challenges and how they overcome them, just like you and I would. So make sure you subscribe to that on iTunes. And again, thank you for watching. On behalf of Trevor and myself, we will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you'd like to keep the conversation going, join our Facebook group.